All right, so you guys are both going to get issued trespass warnings from Walmart, okay? You guys are no longer allowed to go to any Walmarts, any Sam's Clubs, or any Murphy gas station for life, okay? So there's a life ban from Walmart.
Who's issuing that?
What?
Who's issuing that?
Walmart is.
So what? What'd we do?
That's any private business can. I didn't go to Walmart. I just came and.
Well, they can't just do it for no reason.
Yes, I can.
Even if we're not there,
they don't have to have a reason.
But I don't.
Well, can I appeal that?
What?
Can I appeal?
You can call corporate. Yeah,
I'm definitely appealing.
I'm
gonna give it to my lawyer. Have a good day, buddy.
You as well.
Okay, all praise and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shah, by Hashem Harakah Kodash. I want to give double honors to the eldest apostles, along with the bishops of Connecticut. I want to give them double honors. Shalom to the men and women we reference to as the hopeful elect. So once again, my name is Lamadia from the NYC camp. And what we just watched was a content creator, Damon Darling, and he gets banned from Walmart and the Sam's Club and other outlets for pretty much his content. Now, the reason I'm making this video because it's funny because last week the spirit was on me to do a video on this guy because I seen it coming, but now that it happened, it is what it is. Because now his content, most of his content is pretty much him, hoping the homeless, or he buying people groceries and giving out money. But also in his content, he the way he deal with these Edomites is kind of condescending. And his approach to Esau is really be like some type of reverse racism, but he does it in a joke, like how Jake will approach regular Jake shopping is how you approach Edomites, like making a joke, saying to them like, "Well, you're not stealing, right?" But he does it as jokingly, and then sometimes he give money out to these, most of the times Edomites. So what I believe is happening is he's contributing to this image of Esau losing their power. Even though it'll be considered a thing of charity, but Esau will rather, be doing bad than to accept anybody help. And then to add on, he's doing it publicly. So Esau don't want that image to be projected publicly. So I believe this ban came from that because Esau ain't looking too good no more. But this is all part of their downfall, because a lot of times he driving his fancy car, he's handing out money to help people. A lot of times Edomites, and they're struggling. So that right there, that will irritate Esau. Not type in Damon Darling stealing, but I didn't find the video I was looking for, so you can disregard that. Now the video I was looking for is pretty much him just pretty much saying the Edomites, asking them, are they stealing? But I didn't want to go to this guy, his whole content, trying to find that one video. But it is one video. Matter of fact, let me see if I can find it. There's one video. You have this Walmart pretty much telling him to get the fuck out because they didn't want to see him helping anybody. They didn't want him. They didn't even want his presence there. So it just irritated them. So they say he had to leave the premises, and he's asking what for, and they didn't really have a reason. But the idea Jake is hoping out Edomite, it looks bad. So let me go to this Deuteronomy 30:7. And the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, thy power will put all these curses upon thy enemies. Now, when we read Deuteronomy the 28th chapter, it outlines blessings and curses based off um subordinates to the laws of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. Now, Israel went off, so we experience all the curses. So now we in a time we're about to experience the blessings. So if you want to have an idea what I'm talking about, read Deuteronomy 28 chapter. Now 15 on down goes into the curses, whereas the first verse to the 14th verse outlines the blessings, and the 15 on down outlines the curses. So now these curses that we underwent, Lord says he's gonna put upon our enemies, and our number one enemy is who? Esau. So he's about to experience the curses, and it's happening now that we underwent. Esau's begging, Esau begging for money. Esau hooked on drugs. They're addicted to meth. You know, they the new niggas. They the new niggas. And that's what I believe was happening here. Is him projecting that Esau is the new niggas. Although he might be sincere, and although it's just for content, but Esau feels in the spirit that his time is short. So it's disturbing for that projection to be rubbed in their face. So the Lord thy power will put all these curses upon thy enemies and on them that hate thee, which persecute thee. And the number one enemy is who? It's Esau. Now let's go to 2nd Ezra 6. I'm gonna start at 7. Then answered I and said, what should be the point asunder of the times, or when shall be the end of the first, and the beginning of it that follow? And he said unto me, for from Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born of him, Jacob hand held first the hill of Esau, for Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that follow. So right now, Jacob, Israel is about to be brought up. That's the time we're living in, and it's going to begin with the elect. And Esau, he's about to go down. Esau is at a decline, and it first begins with an image, and it's happening with his image financially. Whereas before you throw the Esau, you throw the superheroes. Guess what? Jake is being the new. They got the new Spider-Man that even Edomite kids like more than Peter Parker, Miles Morales. Now, Miles Morales, he's supposed to be from the Latin tribe, but he's a dark-skinned Latin tribe, but still is an image of Jake. And Jake is taking over that image of power. Jake took over the UFC. Jake took over the NBA. So Esau losing that image because he was able to control us through image. Now that image is starting to fade away. So for Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that follow. Now the world is talking about an age. So the age that's coming is a new rulership under Yahweh, under Yahweh Shah. And that's what the scripture speaks about the end of the world, meaning a new rulership, a new age, rather than the earth gonna be destroyed and be built again. No, the scripture say the earth shall abide forever. So Esau is about to transition out of his rulership, and Jacob is about to transition into rulership. Okay, now Obadiah. Um, nah, you know what? Well, bear with me. Yeah, Obadiah. Excuse me, 1:15. For the day of the Lord is near upon all the heathen. As thou hast done, it should be done unto thee. Now, post slavery, during the segregation, Esau treated us like outcasts, and Jacob more hell during post slavery than slavery. That's when Jacob was getting lynched. That's when Jacob was getting segregated, and they only could drink from white only water fountain. They had to sit in the back of the bus. They couldn't go to school along with Edomites, and so on and so forth. Jacob's being lynched. That's where we get the term picnic, because they will have a barbecue and they will pick a nigger to lynch him. That was the show for the barbecue. So now these things is transitioning. So it says, for the day of the Lord should be near upon all the heathen, as thou hast done, it should be done unto thee. Thy reward should return upon thine own head. For as ye have drunk upon my holy mountain, so shall all the heathen drink continually. Yea, they shall drink, and they shall swallow down, and they shall be as though they have not been. So, what is it that they're going to drink? Is the judgment and the wrath of Yahweh by Shem Yahushua. Now we drunk up the wrath of Yahweh by Shem Yahushua, but our punishment is over. It's coming to an end. Now the Most High is about to put it upon Esau. Another good scripture to read is Jeremiah 49 and verse 12 on down. Because we drunk of that cup. Now Esau is going to drink of that cup, because we wasn't supposed to drink of that cup, because we were supposed to be righteous. But since we was insubordinate to Yahweh by Shem Yahushua, we drunk of that cup. So now that cup is being removed and being transitioned to Esau. Verse 17. But upon Mount Zion, Israel, Zion means monument, shall be deliverance, and there should be holiness, and the house of Jacob shall possess their possessions. Let's go to Ezekiel 35. And I'm just read 15. As thou didst rejoice at the inheritance of the house of Israel, because it was desolate, so what I do unto thee, and thou shalt be desolate, O Mount Seir. Now, Mount Seir is Esau. Whatever Esau goes, known as Mount Seir. So Esau about to meet his demise. And it says, in all Idumea, even all of it, and they shall know that I am the Lord. And that's what we're seeing. And trust and believe, Esau, he can feel it in the spirit, but he's trying to resist the obvious. Malachi 1 and 2. I have loved you, save the Lord. Yet ye say, wherein hast thou loved us? And that's what our people say. If God is real, how come you allow all of this to happen? How come you allow people to get cancer, babies to be aborted, kids to die in parks? They ask all these questions, so they question the Most High. But they don't understand everything we undergo as part of the judgment from Yahweh by Shem Yahushua for previous sins. So it says, was not Esau Jacob's brother, save the Lord? Yet I loved Jacob, and I hated Esau, and laid his mountains and his heritage waste for the dragons of the wilderness. And that's what America's about to experience. America's about to be left for desert creatures. It's going to be burnt to dust, meaning everything is going to go back to element form. And the only thing going to be dwelling here is serpent-like creatures and creatures that could survive in deserts. So let me see, and I'll close. I don't want to make this too long. Yeah, I close with Sirach or the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 12. I'm gonna start at 2, because one of the things is what he should have known was Esau is the devil. You know, Esau, no matter what you do, he's the devil. You can't trust him. You can't do good to him, because he's gonna return you with evil. So I said, do good to the godly man, and thou shalt find a recompense. And if not from him, yet from the Most High. There can no good come from him that is always occupying evil. And Esau is occupying evil 24/7. Now it says, nor to him that giveth no alms. It says, give to the godly man and help not a sinner. And it's not a righteous Edomite. They all wicked. So he should have knew from right there not to help no Edomite. You know, if anything, you know, he should have been helping Jake out. If that, I mean, Jake is wicked too, but definitely not no Edomite. Now it says, do well to him that is lowly, but give not to the ungodly. Hold back thy bread, and that's why he's in the situation now, hoping the ungodly, and give not unto him, lest he overmaster thee thereby, for else thou shalt receive twice as much evil for all the good thou shalt have done unto him. So, and that's he receiving right now. So, I read verse 6 and I close. For the Most High hated sinners, and will repay vengeance unto the ungodly, and keepeth them against the mighty day of their punishment. And that's pretty much it. Matter of fact, I just peeped this. And it, you know, pretty good, because now this Jake, Damon, what's this guy name? Damon Darling. You know, he pretty much helped out other people because he wasn't rich his whole life. But you know, Esau don't want the help because it's an embarrassment unto them. Now I'm gonna read verse 9 of Sirach 12. In the prosperity of a man, enemies will be grieved. So they hate seeing Jake in position, and Jake in a better position than them, because this is their world. But it says, but in his adversity, even a friend will depart. So I'll close with that. So with that, Lord willing, this video was edifying. I'm gonna say, Kolayim Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shah, by Hashem Harakak Wadash. Till next time, Shalom. That's how it works.